What statement makes you roll your eyes immediately when someone says they are the CEO of their company they started 2 weeks ago? CEO at full-time mummy. Anything concerning detox diets? Wouldn't it be nice if we had specialized organs in our bodies specifically for the purpose of all the nasty things that we keep putting in there? Oh wait, that's your liver. I had a coworker who was trying to get me to do a cleanse. She asked me, well, if you don't do cleanses, then how do you remove toxins from your system? I responded with I poop. She responded with gross. So apparently my coworker did not poop. Unpopular opinion, but goes on to state a fairly popular opinion, or I know I'm going to get downvoted, but you guys may not like this, but I enjoy weed, Futurama, and Bernie Sanders. Edit, gold, thank you strange friend. Would you like to come over for weed, watching Futurama, and talking about Bernie Sanders? Officer, follow my pen with your eyes. Edit, I love gold. I'm not friends with other girls because they're so dramatic. Edit, not sure why this was deserving of gold but thanks, said the bitch that's the cause of all the drama. I'm a great drunk driver, fuck you. Anytime a politician invokes religion, always feels like pandering, no matter how sincerely they hold to their faith. Plot twist. Edit, I'm a Christian, so I'm the one they're pandering to. But I always hate it when they do it and wish they'd keep their faith mostly separate from their work. In some European countries it's considered political suicide to mention your religion, as it should be, because it's irrelevant. It's healthier because it's all natural. So is arsenic. And I am not going to pour that stuff over my cornflakes, buddy. You know, I thought he loved her, but then I saw the size of that ring. Only a 4 carat. Any conversation about wedding/engagement ring size, really? It's so tacky. If I were female, I would want a reasonably small ring so it doesn't get in the way of things. Preferably smooth. Of course, if I were female my life would have been much different, so it's possible I wouldn't hold the same opinion. If I were female I'd probably just look at my boobs all day. Going off what he said. Proceeds to beat a dead horse. Edit, not a member of the military, just a disgruntled former fraternity brother. I'm just going to piggyback off of that, that is so annoying. Repetitive people just say the same thing over and over again. Honestly, there couldn't be anything more upsetting than when someone just wants to run their mouth and come up with pretty much nothing new to say. They just say the same words in different order basically, you know what I mean. Just to expand on that a little, when people don't contribute new information to a discussion but just add their own words, I find that annoying. Because this is the way we've always done it. Not saying that tried and true practices are bad, but either entertain the suggestion that you could be doing a task differently and get the same results more efficiently, or tell me that you have tested every possible alternative, and that this is the most effective way of completing the task. The new Jewish bride is making her first big dinner for her husband and tries her hand at her mother's brisket recipe, cutting off the ends of the roast the way her mother always did. Hubby thinks the meat is delicious, but says, "Why do you cut off the ends? That's the best part." She answers, "That's the way my mother always made it." The next week, they go to the old Bubby's house, and she prepares the famous brisket recipe, again cutting off the ends. The young bride is sure she must be missing some vital information, so she asks her grandma why she cut off the ends. Grandma says, "Darling, that's the only way it will fit in the pan. We only use 10% of our brains." Proper response is maybe you do. As a mother, prefacing any and all discussions in a classroom setting. I'm just brutally honest. A better way to say that is I don't give a fuck about your feelings. People who enjoy being brutally honest are more often focused on being brutal than honest. It's more of a question, but usually said as a statement. Anything that starts with "why don't you just?" Because it's usually coming from someone ignorant with no idea what they're talking about. Why don't you just get a degree? Why don't you just get a job? Why don't you just get more sleep? Why don't you just save more money? It's a great way to belittle other people's struggles. Edit, thank you guys for kindly offering me advice, but I do have a degree, a job, and sleep very well. I was just listing common examples. To a depressed person, why don't you just cheer up? Oh. Fuck me Billy, I never thought of that. Cheers. I know a wonderful opportunity with this awesome company called Amway. That's a cue for me to not only roll my eyes, but to promptly walk away. Things along the lines of it doesn't have any chemicals in it. Or I don't want to put chemicals in my body. PSSST. Everything is chemicals. Speaking as a Capricorn. God, I know. Capricorns are so fucking stupid. Stop rolling your eyes. Rolls eyes harder. Rolls whole body on the ground. Cheer up Derek. Stop playing games, you're not a child. Be an adult when you have to, be a kid when you can. Anything involving this generation. I immediately disregard anything you're saying because it's almost always a generalized statement that applies to a small minority. So I roll my eyes around my grandparents a lot. This generation of computer processors are more efficient than the last. Rules are meant to be broken. No asshole, that's the exact opposite reason rules are made for. Assholes are made to be broken. You free tonight? You're so quiet. You should talk more. Bitch, I will talk when I'm good and ready. If you can't handle me at my worst, you certainly don't deserve me at my best. If you can't handle me at my diddliest, you certainly don't deserve me at my doodliest. I don't believe in science. I always love the climate scientists are just in it for the money line. Yeah. That guy doing complex mathematical modeling steered clear of the financial services sector so he could get his hands on some of that sweet researcher dough and roll up to the nightclubs in a bitchin' 2001 Ford Taurus with manual windows. He's playing us all for fools. Wake up people/sheeple. Coincidence? I think not. On the stance of not wanting children, you'll change your mind someday. Or you won't know what true happiness is without kids. Fuck everything about that sentence. No offense, but it's so annoying. You're obviously gonna say something offensive. It's not a fucking invisible shield to protect you. Edit, thank you whoever popped my cherry. I'll always remember my first. Second edit. As the title stated, what makes you roll your eyes immediately? That statement does. Also, it's never anything that was said to me that I found offensive. It was always an offensive comment meant for someone else out of earshot. When someone says if he or she jumped off a cliff would you jump too? Well, obviously not, because I don't want to fucking die. Fuck, I hate that one. Well, I don't take fall damage, so maybe. I'm not racist, but that one makes me narrow my eyes. Anything to do with Shakeology or other superfood smoothie MLM scheme. I've got a few friends now on Facebook who are constantly updating with photos of the smoothies they're about to eat. And how being a part of something so big is so amazing and life-changing. It also sucks because the ones on my feed are actually pretty freaking successful at it. They've got tons of people to join their little groups. I roll my eyes at all the comments from their minions. That's not music. That's just a bunch of noise. Evolution is just a theory followed by me promptly walking in the other direction. Say gravity is also a theory, but I don't see you floating out the window. A new study suggests. I hate that shit. They take a fringe study that has not been peer-reviewed, and cherry-pick a remotely vague conclusion, presenting it as the main focus of the study. Since no one has posted it yet. Vaccines cause autism and weed cures cancer/STDs/death. I went to UL, University of Life. It takes all my energy to muster up the chuckle they obviously want to elicit. Everything happens for a reason. Edit, late but thank you for the gold. Less than 3. I mean it kinda does. Sometimes the reason is that you're dumb and make bad decisions. For a girl, you have a pretty large penis. For a girl. When my dad says he's got a new joke to tell us, dad jokes are the most fun source of eye rolling. Calling someone a cuck in an argument rather than using a sensible and logical counterpoint. Can you fix my computer? Source, software engineer. Edit, like many mention, of course I can and sometimes do. What makes me roll my eyes is the fact that people assume IT and SE are the same thing. Or even worse, sometimes people assume that because you work in a computer-related field, you can and should fix everyone's computers. Sigh. I'm fat. Under 90 pounds girl. X is just like Hitler. Heard conservatives say it about Obama, heard liberals say it about Trump. Not every politician you dislike is Hitler, and just saying that shit doesn't really add anything helpful to anything. What about X gon' give it to ya? Any challenge to my masculinity, be a man, sack up, etc. just makes me more deeply entrenched in my position. The Bible says, stupid questions like who are you? And what are you doing in my bed with a knife? You know, that sort of thing. The problem is they took prayer and Jesus out of our schools. I'm not against religion, but this is just plain ignorant, no matter what religion you're talking about. It's God's plan. Video games cause violence / breeds misogyny / inspire shootings. Or anything to that effect. They are games. Please leave my video games alone. Liked what you saw? Hit like, subscribe and the bell icon for more crazy Reddit content.